You know, the definition of healing is a complicated definition. One of the reasons why it's complicated is because it can mean a variety of things to everyone. Most people believe that healing is just getting over a trauma, getting over their narcissistic, jealous, or unhealthy family member or parent, or pushing forward in the face of adversity and coming out on the other side of the tunnel in a good way. Oh my God, something's in my eye. But healing means a lot more than you would think. Healing is basically the process of going through a journey. Let's imagine this together before we jump into the content. Let's say you're on a long road. You've been through roller coaster rides and haunted rides, so to speak. You've been through, the ballpark, and you've been around the bend, and you've been up and down in your life. You've had some tornadoes, some hurricanes, some storms, and some sunny days. Let's say you've gone through all of that, and all of a sudden you hit 30, 35, 40, sometimes even 65, and you realize, hey, wait a minute, I'm healed. You realize that you are no longer in pain. You are no longer a victim to the thing or the person that hurt you. I'm going to break this down for you today, and we're going to talk about healing, but from a realistic perspective. But before we jump in, let me briefly introduce myself. In case you are new to the channel, my name is Tamara. I'm internationally and board certified in trauma therapy. I'm licensed in mental health. I specialize in treating children, teens, and families, as well as adults who are dealing with trauma. Let's go ahead and jump in. You know, the ups and downs, the hurricanes, and the tornadoes of life can really educate us. I think that for me, and I'm going to self-disclose here, I've been through quite a bit in my lifetime. I had a wonderful mom. I had a dad who had post-traumatic stress disorder. He was a semi-famous musician, and he was also a veteran who suffered from a lot of mental and emotional turmoil that eventually broke my mom and he apart. And myself and my two brothers, we just had to rely on a single parent who was very, very dedicated, homeschooled us, traveled with us, took us all over the world, really gave us the nurturing that we needed so that in essence, we wouldn't miss our father who's over here doing his own thing. We've been through quite a lot as a family. I lost my grandmother unexpectedly 2 years ago. There was a natural disaster for my mom at one point. I mean, we have been through the ringer. And here I am today, after the age of 30, that's all I'm going to tell you. I realized that I didn't heal at the time. I healed over time. Let me repeat that. I didn't heal at the time that trauma was happening, whatever trauma that was. I healed over time. And that's basically the definition of healing. Healing is basically valuing yourself, appreciating the power or the lack thereof that you have. Really committing to yourself and maybe somebody else who's trying to heal. Healing is basically the definition of a whole process, okay? Healing means to be whole. And to be whole from an existential perspective is to see yourself as going through a process and not healing in one whole moment, if that makes sense. You're not going to heal next year. You're not going to heal next June on the 15th and move on. You're going to heal over the rest of your lifetime, right? Over time. And so once you begin to digest that reality, I think that's when you can safely say, I am healing, right? Don't forget the ing. I am healing. You're not healed. I'm healing. And so that's basically the way I want you guys to see this. A lot of people misinterpret what healing is. Again, healing is not a one-time process. It's multiple processes over time. So let me explain the process for you. Basically, you're going to see these three things within yourself as you heal: denial, anger, and resentment. You may also feel a host of other emotions along the way, but denial, anger, and resentment. Let's say, for example, you're healing from a narcissistic parent, or you're healing from two narcissistic parents. You're probably going to be in denial that you have a parent like that. You're also going to have some anger because of the way that they treat you or don't treat you. And you're probably going to carry resentment because they don't have empathy towards you. Another example would be, let's say you have post-traumatic stress disorder because of natural disaster. You're probably going to go into denial, and feel numb. Then you're probably going to get angry that you've lost everything you've ever worked for. And then the resentment can be carried for many, many years against God, against other people, against people that we relied on, like organizations to support us, to give us money, to give us aid, right? So denial, anger, and resentment. The next thing that you're likely to see within yourself is cognitive processing. Cognitive processing. That basically means that you're going to go inside of your mind and really try to pick and pull apart how you're processing what has happened to you. There's a whole cognitive process associated with healing. You have to be able to get inside of here and logically and rationally, kind of flip the pages of your mind and look at what has happened to you. So that's essential. You're probably going to experience that at some point. It doesn't have to happen right away or a little bit after. It could be years later that you begin to cognitively process what has happened to you. You also want to think about a non-judgmental emotional connection or bond with other people. Sometimes when we are in the process of healing, we become defensive. We push people away. We put up a defense. We stonewall. And, we may even minimize other people in our life who are trying to love us and heal us. If that is happening, you have to remember that healing also entails being non-judgmental against other people and yourself, and gaining that emotional bond that's going to help you heal. Pushing people away and detaching is not going to be a healthy process. It's going to take you much longer to heal that. The next thing is psychoeducation. You want to be connected to the knowledge that's going to heal you. Having the language, the knowledge, and the understanding is part of the healing process. You can't heal if you don't know what's happening to you. You can't heal unless you process what has happened, right? You can't heal unless you open the book of your life and look at the pages and then open up another book or open up a website or go to a therapist and get some additional education about what's happening to you. You can't heal if you don't do that. Decide to really move forward with either faith, hope, or reality. You want to be sure that you are on the right road to healing, because we can all think healing is drinking alcohol, doing drugs, being sexually provocative, self-medicating in some way. You want to make sure that you're on the proper road to healing. So you want to move forward in a realistic way. And if you believe in faith, if you are connected to God, hold on to that. And you want to make sure that you have some hope still left in here. And if you don't, we need to find that hope, and it's possible. You want to step back from the situation and proceed forward with wisdom. So if you're trying to heal and you don't know what to do, step back. Sometimes we have to detach from what has happened to us and who people are in our life for us to be able to heal. You can't heal unless you take that time out from life, other people, and even your own cognitive processes. So step back for a little while, which means you may have to shut down, go away, go on a retreat, leave town, go to your house, take a whole month off, whatever it is. Step back and then proceed with caution and wisdom. The healing process is pretty complicated, but I hope this was a helpful video to you. We're going to continue to talk about this for sure moving forward. I'm going to go ahead and link right up here, and here's the thumbnail right here where you can go and check out my live chat where I'm talking about the healing process. Thank you so much for being with me today, guys. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up, bell button, and that subscribe button so that you can stick around with us and continue to be a part of this channel and get similar videos. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.